Hello everybody, welcome back to Thomas Plays Games. We're playing Factorio, and we are on the quest for oil. Still looking into where the oil is and how to set it up. Yeah, gotta take out a bunch of biters before I do that, because we're far away from the base, and far away means big biters. As you can see by those blue ones. Okay, just pushing these guys on. Okay, and I'm just kind of running around, like, trying to avoid the biters and look for the actual location where the oil is. I've got one little guy chasing me, but not a big concern, and you can actually see... Wait, can you see? Is it here? It's pretty close to here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there it is. So, here you can see the oil. This is what I was searching for the entire time. The huge column that I made. This is how far away the base is from the actual oil that I found. It's really, really far away, except for that one piece I found there. And looking around the map now that the radar stations that I threw down 2 episodes ago while exploring the lake off camera, there are a couple oil patches nearby, but, I've finally found oil that I will be using. So just clearing these guys out with the robots, making a whole bunch of space, and I gotta actually connect the train all the way through here, which means killing more biters. Yeah. I mean, I don't like biters, but I don't hate them as much as somebody like Arumba might. I'm no biter lover, but they don't bother me that much. It's more that they just are inconvenient to deal with. And it's really easy when you start a game to set biters at a pretty high level, or a pretty high level of aggression and power, and just not realize how annoying that's going to actually be later on. So here I am, finally able to connect the rails with purpose, knowing where I should be going. So I'm going to add these guys in, just throw them down still. Yeah, connect them all the way up, or connect the rail system all the way up until I get to a point where biters are in my way. Then I'll have to deal with them, and then I can go back to actually doing the thing the game is designed for. I'm really looking forward to when the new patch comes out and they upgrade, or they replace the biter artifacts required for science with a couple other things. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making a little blueprint for a power plant and laser turrets, so that I can actually do some turret creep, so I don't have to always do the running in with my flamethrower to take these guys out. Flamethrower is helpful, but sometimes it gets annoying having to kite these guys all over the place. So I want a defensive location that I can back up to take these things out. So that's the reason I built this thing over here. Just kind of creep the turrets, let the laser turrets do their work, because they do a really good job at hurting these things, or at killing these things. Even though the behemoth ones, or the big biters, take 4 or 5 laser shots, they still do fall pretty quickly, which is more than I can say for me trying to use bullets or anything like that. And yeah, just pick these guys up. Don't need them to be around anymore. And yeah, killing the next base there. Just trying to push myself forward so that I can get towards where the oil actually is, so that I can solve the problems that my base has been facing forever. Because I started that laser turret shooting speed an hour and a half ago in game time. So the fact that I still don't have it means that there's a problem, and that problem is a lack of oil. As has been the case for a long time. And yeah, just let the robots pick these things up. Kind of fiddling with the blueprints, getting the actual rail system back in place. And yeah, you can see right here that I actually run out of rails. So I get to a point where there's been so much, I've been making these things for so long that I've run out of rail systems. So I've got to set up a train so that it can come and get me, so I can go back to base afterwards. And I just throw these things down to defend the area that I am in until I get back. Because I need to go grab more rails and a couple other things for the train system to go. So yeah, hop on this bad boy and let's just go back to base. And I realized that I can't actually do that because of the way the rail systems are set up. So I have to actually set it to manual and drive myself back. But yeah, trains are pretty darn quick, so it doesn't take too long to get there. You can see the hopping back all the way through the super long main artery system. And figure I'll just leave the train there because I'm going to come back, hop on it to take me back to the base later on. And yeah, you can see the base is still functioning even though it's had like an hour of neglect. Yeah, overall, the resources aren't in a bad way. And yeah, just overall it's doing pretty well. Grabbing a couple things, just doing some housekeeping, picking up some items that I'm going to want. Making the robots, because as I said before, the robo ports are going to be so that I can add construction robots to the individual outposts so that they can heal things if they get attacked. So I'm just going to let those guys build in my inventory slowly-ish, but they're going to build, so that's no problem there. Adding in a couple logistics robots because I will need them. And I realize, I'm not sure if I realize right now, but in my inventory I have a whole bunch of extra construction robots because I deconstructed one of the roboports previously. So eventually I'll get rid of those construction robots and have a cleaner inventory for it. Letting these logistics robots grab me the stuff I want. And there you go. So I noticed that I have too many construction robots. Go down to 50, because that's how many my roboport can manage. Or well, 59, because I want to add maybe 10 or so to the actual... I want to add 10 or so to the robotics network I'm going to be making in the oil area. Okay, so after a bit of picking up a couple things, doing some housekeeping, I'm going to hop back over to the biter, or to the oil outpost, or the soon-to-be oil outpost. So I figure I'll just tell the train to drive itself. No need to have me do all the work. Yeah, and while I'm on my way, I figure I might as well make some oil barrels to throw into one of the things. And you can actually see on the left there that a even bigger oil outpost has been found. So I'm gonna also be getting that one after I make this first one. And yeah, just gotta take out these biter bases so they don't get too close to the actual things I'm trying to make. And right here, I almost die because I got caught by a couple biters, but I do, have the presence of mind to throw down some fire on my feet to kill the biters. Luckily, the shields actually block most of the fire damage, while causing while the biters still take a lot. So that's an effective way of not dying if you ever get stuck. And yeah, again, just letting the robots do this. It would be nice if construction robots could carry more than one thing. But as it is right now, they just deconstruct one item off the ground, even if it's the thing, or the alien artifacts. And yeah, I'll just deconstruct all these things. Because I don't need... biters don't normally target rails. In fact, I don't think they target them at all. And the power system, I think, is okay. I've never had them attack it before. So here I'm going to make the actual laser wall for the first time. I use this blueprint quite a lot later on, so it is a good idea to try and get it right. And I want a 2-thick wall. And looking at it, it's like just a little bit off of how I want it to be. So I'm going to actually fix the design in a minute. It ends up just using 4 lasers, like that. So yeah, that's the overall design I like to use. Normally I throw in some lights just so it looks nice when you're looking at it normally, but yeah, so I deconstruct a couple of these things, add in the power pole so I can actually do some stuff, And there, that should be enough space for the actual output. Connect those things up so I can have the train go in on the left and leave on the right. And of course a couple biters notice me and try to attack me. So, just dealing with these guys the normal way. Just run around, throw fire at your feet, try to get some flamethrower or some flames on these guys. I think this might actually be one of the areas where I actually die, because there's so many spitters and big worms that it takes a while to get rid of these things. Yeah, I take a lot of damage. Maybe it isn't where I... Oh, yeah, there we go. Another death. So yeah, that's what happens when you're just not being cautious. Cause yeah, there's a lot of biters. It's a big ass base. It's really tough to deal with. So yeah, I just kind of like loop around, trying to like ring around the rosy these biters and throw down some flames on the worms so that I don't die immediately when I run up there. There we go. Finally dealt with them all, or pretty much dealt with them all, and also caused a terrible forest fire. But yeah, it's one of the risks you gotta take with the flamethrower. So I throw this thing in, rename it, sorry Lemur X, but got more convenient names. Okay. So yeah, using the same cargo capacity thing that I always do. Just want these things to go. Train comes up, I'm going to tell it to stop. Actually, I don't have to. It should stop automatically. Oh, there it didn't. So yeah, I tell it to come back, and I'm like, hey, don't do that. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just going to use the same design as I used in the other oil station because it just works. The only difference here is there's way more oil, which means you might need more tankers to hold the oil while your trains are busy unloading or traveling. And here we go. I think the oil is probably the most annoying resource to deal with, just because it's like actually hard to connect up big bases and pump jacks together. Like if you're digging a mining area, there's a lot of so the fire is kind of making the biters a little angry. If you see a big ore patch, you can just kind of blueprint one big like ore patch area. But if you see a bunch of like a big oil field, it's always like weirdly dispersed, and the pump jacks are actually hard to connect together. So it takes a little bit of time to do that, and you might miss one or two, as I find out that I do partway through this thing. So just trying to connect up all these things together. Yeah, in a way that just like actually makes sense, and ends up being a little tough to do. Just gotta like throw those things down. You never get into a position where I've never gotten into a position. It might be possible, but I've never had a position where the pump jacks actually like block each other and you can't get oil out of them. But it is a little annoying it's just so hard to deal with these things. And because I keep getting attacked by biters, I figure I'll go up and deal with this base too. I got enough ammo for it, and hopefully I have the wherewithal to not die this time. And yeah, just killing these guys slowly trying to take these guys out. Having extra shields might have been a good idea when I was trying to do this thing. There's just a lot of biters. And I figure I'll just let the lasers deal with them. And yeah, they can do a pretty good job. The lasers work best when they're actually behind a wall. Otherwise, they just kind of get surrounded and die. I think that turrets actually do have a rotation speed problem, the same way that cars do. So that can be an important factor as well. And I don't remember exactly, but I think I might have also died here. Just because there was a really big, this big biter base was right beside another really big one. I might not though. I might just be misremembering. Okay, cool. So we dealt with all the close biters, and I figure what, that's good enough. Let's just put the wall down now. Still one tree in the way. There we go. So we'll just put this thing down. I want it to go far enough that I can fully connect these things. Or that I can go around the actual oil area. Cut down one more tree. And there we go. So that should cover pretty much the vast majority of the space. And I want to do an actual full encapsulation. I don't want any possibility of actual biters getting in here and taking out the oil area. So I'm even putting in the gates into there, and kind of like loop around the light, or the power pole there, adding in a couple more laser turrets, just to make sure that this area should be okay. Yeah, I'm going to connect up the corners, and I put extra laser turrets on the corners, because, you know, there's more surface area to attack there than a straight line. So I want to have an extra level of defense. And yeah, back to trying to connect all these pipes up. So many pipes. I think, yeah, this is, while I'm playing this, I'm just kind of sitting there, like, falling asleep almost with the tedium of it all. So I actually stop recording. Not now, you know, I've got another like 10 minutes or so that I recorded this thing, but once I finish this base up, then I actually stop recording and just do it off camera for the other one, so that nobody else has to fall asleep as well. But yeah, it'd be really nice if there was an easy way to set this up. Yeah, just, I don't know, maybe if you made a blueprint that was like lots and lots of pump jacks, you could connect those properly or something like that. I don't know. Connecting these pipes is always a bit of a hassle. And I'm actually running out of pipe into some of those areas, so I'm going to need to go back and get some iron. After I connect these things, of course. Yeah, again, putting more things on the corner so that nothing dies. And I'm pretty sure I renamed these things. So yeah, I'm like, why is this oil thing, or this train not working? And I think I'm driving this one manually, so I'm going to go back and see what I did wrong, what I messed up, to actually check this thing out. And I have a full cart of oil. Well, not super full, but full in terms of what I have. So it's going to be a huge influx of oil into the base. And I'm just slowing down to see what I did wrong. Both of these oil fields have the exact same name. And I realized what I did wrong is I didn't put a end light there, so that the train, where the train is sitting on the right there, it actually counted as the same block as the outgoing block. So that and no trains were able to actually exit because it counted as occupied. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to explain these train things without like actually like pausing and looking. So like, I'll actually do it. So like, this is one train block right here, and this is the train. I didn't have this light here, so the whole train block extended onto this entire exit area and back into here. So since there was a train in the train block, no other trains were allowed to enter, which is what that problem was. So hopefully that explains it a little better. And if, yeah, I think that was an okay job, I hope. Yeah, trains can be pretty darn complicated, but they're kind of like pretty much my favorite part of the game. It's just like having a really neat train system going in your base. It's a really cool thing to see. If you just like check the map, you can see all these trains moving all over the place. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to refill on things because I was low on iron. Grab some stuff so I can keep connecting up the oil area, and finally get auto trash, which was it's really cool technology that you can set certain items that you never want to have in your inventory, and the game will just get rid of them whenever you have them. So if you say you want 0 wood, anytime you pick up wood, it'll immediately go into your trash slots. It's a really cool feature, and was actually a mod before the developers made it into an actual vanilla feature, which is really cool. So yeah, grab some more oil, get rid of the alien artifacts I picked up, And I'm looking and seeing, like, I was looking at the size of the second oil field there. It's really big, so I asked for a lot more pump jacks. And I end up just taking all of them. I think I got like 100 or something in my inventory right now. So I'm happy to say that after I connect all these oil areas, all of the oil problems of the factory, at least in terms of low input, are pretty much solved. Yeah, I've gotten to a point where I'm doing a lot of oil smelting and stuff, so I've pretty much gotten to an area where I don't really need any oil anymore. Okay, so I turn this thing off manual, checking to see if it does work. It should go after 10 seconds, there we go. And heading on back to the new oil area. And, you know, it's a little annoying to set up the bases because all the biters are in the way, but it is real cool to see the trains go into them. It's probably, yeah, definitely my favorite part of the game is the trains. And, you know, I hop out, I'm going to pick up these alien artifacts. No reason to leave this stuff on the ground. I don't like littering. And yeah, so confident that that first system is entirely set up, I'm going to connect up a way to get to the second train area. Or the second oil field that I want to work on. I think I'm almost done, yeah. So I do most of this off camera, so I'm actually going to end the episode here. Thank you for watching Thomas Plays Games. I hope to see you all next time, where we should have a second huge oil base. Goodbye.